Yo, welcome to the channel. So today we are hopefully not going to get too burnt, but we have got probably my longest dig to date to try and get these two sub-mains in. So just beside, I'll show you in a minute, but there's a massive barn this side and a triple garage just over there that currently have got, let's just say, sketchy electrics. So we've got to dig this massive trench back in all the way down, hopefully not completely total the lawn. I'm really in two minds whether to get a digger, but we're going to see how the ground is. We're going to keep digging. I've got Jake's going to help me. Jake is hiding behind there. You probably won't see him that much. I mean, I will dress this up to make it look like I've done absolutely everything, and be like, really I'm tired all the time and all the rest of it, and Jake's just, you'll never see him. But what we've done, I've put a massive string line down. I'll give you a guided tour in a moment. And the plan is that once we've done our dig, we've got some DPM just to the side of it. We're going to pop it on there. We haven't got that much DPM today, and it is late in the afternoon, and I wasn't planning on doing this today, but this is part of the farm job where we're renovating upstairs, but it seems to be the perfect opportunity now just to get started on this. So anyway, enough waffling. If you're new to the channel, you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. Link is in, I believe, this corner down here. Smash that, and yeah, let's get stuck into the video. Okay, so said barn is massive. Said skip, and plenty of the GHC wagons are there. So I'll quickly pop you in here. Now the plan, actually a really, really cool place. So eventually I think this is going to be turned into a dwelling, but at the minute they just use it for little functions and stuff like that for themselves, which I think is actually stunning. I think it's a really, really potential. Oh, it is next level. I've got to show you this. I've got to show you this. So look, we've actually still got all the drinkers and stuff like that from whatever animals were in here. So yeah, really, really cool. So as we can see, we've come from that area there, and the homeowner would like the DB in the vicinity there, which is cool. So let's just take you down to the other side and see how long this run is. So it is from where Jake is. Jake is there. Jake is there. Hey, Jake. So we've put a stake in the ground, and we're going all the way down here. This point here is going to be a little bit tricky, so we're going to have to lift this drain up and find out what it is, because it could be a well. We don't know. It's a very, very old farmhouse. All the way down, and then we're going to be coming in at this point. So it's 3-phase here, but it's actually only running on single phase, if that makes any sense. And the consumer unit is up there somewhere, and somebody previously has installed a fuse box board with RCBOs and all the rest of it, which is really handy. So it's all ready to go. There was a hot tub of some sort that was run out that direction over there somewhere. So then once we've dug that bit out, the straight trench, we've then got to come back down here, and then we're gonna have to tee off down that way and get into the triple garage over there and put another sub-main into there, because there is potential for stuff for that later on, which I can't tell you right now. Can't tell you. But yeah, so that's the plan. So we're going to get digging. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the ground is going to be favourable, and yeah, and within about 2 seconds it'll all be done. So, like I said, I've been doing all this. Jake hasn't done anything at all, honestly. So basically what we're trying to do is we're working as a bit of a team. So I'm chopping up the turf, keeping that to one side to try and see if we can salvage it. Don't know whether we will. Jake's coming in with a wrecking bar then to loosen everything up, and then I'm just basically cleaning out. It is red hot, not gonna lie. It's properly hot, but we think we've discovered an old yard. So, because all at the bottom of this is a concrete pad. So there might be an old yard in here, I'm not entirely sure, but we're getting there, we're working our way through. And I'd like to say, I'm gonna pace it out and do the meterage. So bear with me and I'll let you know. So, quick tot up. I think there's 55 meters of trench that we need to dig, which is a little bit soul destroying, but it also means that we better get cracking. So we'll catch up with you in a little bit once we've bombed on a little bit more. Yo, morning. So it is the next day. Naturally, the digging started and I needed to go.
why wouldn't I? In all honesty, I had a call out. Genuinely, I had a call out to do. It was an EV charger that we installed a little while ago, and it apparently decided it wanted the CT clamp. Wasn't registering, so I had to go and sort that out because they were going on holiday and they needed to charge the car, you know, all the usual. So I've left Jake to crack on. So me and you, we're going to find out how far he's got. So 3, 2, 1.
Whew. Not too bad considering, like I say, we started this in the afternoon and I did say we'd run out of DPM, so I said to Jake, just pile it up on top of there, do what you can with it, which is fine. So we've got some more DPM and we've got to get all the way down there. One of the jobs I've got to do today, if you remember ages ago, for those of you who follow the channel, I snapped my little shovel on a job and it's just been sitting there in a very sorry state. And so what I've decided to do is get a longer handle, which is this one here. So it's a much longer handle, and I'm going to get that repaired because it is a bit backbreaking doing it the way we're doing it. So that is one of the jobs that we're going to sort out. I'm going to do that straight away. Going to get the DPM down and sort all that bit out, but yeah, long overdue. We're still ongoing. So yesterday, Jake, bless him, got up to roughly here. Ran out of tarpaulin, or DPM is what we're using. So he's launched it all up there, but we're picking up all sorts of stuff. So there's a bit of yard underneath here, it's a massive concrete slab, and we're not smashing all that up, it ain't happening. We've got to be realistic in what we're doing. We're now working our way through, and there's absolutely tons of hardcore. So for those of you who have messaged me on Instagram and stuff like that, about why we're not hired in a trencher. So I genuinely made the phone call today, Jake is my witness. I made the phone call today to see if we can get hold of a trencher, and we can't get hold of one. Mini digger, yes, I could have used a mini digger, but then I've got to put boards down. I'm going to ruin what's left of the lawn. It's obviously quite a big lawn, and I'm going to ruin it. I don't want to do that. So we are back to old school. So what we've got, a sort of bit of a routine going. Jake is loosening up all the stone, and then I'm shoveling it all away and chipping all the sides out and making everything nice and square, I suppose the best way of putting it. We've got the turf like this. We've cut it out in sections, keeping plenty of soil on the bottom of that. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll stay good and we can kind of put it back in place. Not ideal, you never know how it goes, but we're just going to keep plodding on. But yeah, it sucks. Now, to answer your question whether I've repaired the shovel, yes I have, and I'll take you down, I'll show you that. Now that shovel, we've been through a lot together, so it seemed a bit stupid to get rid of it, and it's going to be a bit like Triggers, isn't it, with his broom. Loads of heads, loads of handles, it's still the original one. Shovel, so we managed to fix it. So what I've done is I have chipped it all out, chopped it all about, and yeah, used a bit of Fisher, you know, grab and bond, and whack that in there. And it's going well, in fairness. So it's given us that extra bit of length. Who doesn't like a little bit of extra length on there? And it means that Jake can then smash that down, and I'm not, if he slips, which is happening at Jake, that which I knew it would happen if I was doing it. I don't then take an iron bar to the head. You know, health and safety police, please leave your comments below. I will take them in consideration and do nothing about them. We've got a bit of a problem. So this yard, the old original yard here, is very, very shallow, and it just keeps coming up and up and up. And then you might notice that Jake is over there doing a little bit of a raking. So I'm going to jump in the van and explain more. We've had a little bit of a snag. So I'm going to have to eat my words a little bit. We're going to have to get a digger. Now, the customer's come out,
and they've just said, because future plans, like I say, we've got obviously loads of stuff that's going to be going on here. The future plans means that there's going to be a new driveway and all the rest of it. So they want the depth of the cable to be quite deep. Now, as we were going across the garden area, that concrete slab, which, because like I say, it used to be a working farm, the concrete slab's getting higher and higher and higher and higher. Now, industry sort of best practice guides, minimum depth is 1/2 metre, and we're nowhere near achieving that, nowhere near, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. We were, when we first started, the first section and a half, it was okay, it's just 1/2 metre, and then it starts tapering up and up and up, and we found this flat concrete slab. So we're having to admit that we can't continue like this. We're gonna have to do something about it. So what I've done, I've gone and got the massive breaker, so you might be able to just hear it in the background. That Jake is now on that, breaking that up, so I need to go back out and start clearing out some of the concrete in between there. And because, like I say, the customer now saying about he wants extra depth because of the drive, he doesn't want to disturb it at a later date, completely and utterly get that. It's left us no choice. So I've got the digger on hire, hopefully it'll be here tomorrow. The problem is we're struggling is to get a digger with a 6-inch bucket, because obviously we only need a narrow trench. Now, they're just as rare as hen's teeth round here. It's getting a 6-inch bucket from a hire plant. So we may end up having to do a much wider trench, which is again not ideal. But at the end of the day, we're putting power supplies out for potential dwellings this side, for the main barn over here and then over there. So it is what it is. So whether they wants to run new water mains over there, by all means, you might as well chuck it in at the same time if that's what we're doing. So just wanted to show you, this is real world. Like I say, ideally in my head, most gardens, stuff like that, you'll dig down, it's all just topsoil and you can just crack on. It is what it is. But here, because it's a farm makeup, it's just been an absolute pig. And to be honest, the client said not surprised at all. You know, we're discovering so many things here, but obviously it just means more work, which equally means more money. So that leads me on to, you know, today's sponsor. It's Tradify. So today I can sit in the van, go through our invoice for it, alter the quote, send it over the additional work, and he can authorize it so we can get it, you know, get it going. So we use it for absolutely everything, or invoicing, quoting. It's a job management software. We've been using it for years. The one really cool feature about it is you can add notes to the job. So for me, obviously I'm adding notes as we're going. Yes, longer time for digging out, hire of plant, all that sort of stuff. It all goes on the job, so don't forget anything. It means I can bill properly and get paid properly. So if you like it, use the promo code GHAWK30. You'll get 30% off for the first 3 months. The promo code will be in the description below. But go and check them out. They are absolutely wicked. And we've been using them for years and we would be absolutely lost without them. So thank you, Tradify, for sponsoring this video. So, good news. Just got off the phone to the hire company and they've managed to sort me out with a micro digger. So that is being dropped off at some point tomorrow morning, with an 8-inch bucket, which I know is not as small as I wanted, but that's fine, we can make that work. Now, Jake is cracking on. It looks mental, digging up concrete in amongst the lawn, but hey-ho, it is what it is. So I'll wait till he's finished and I'll show you why we're doing that. Jake's got to, so he's broke up the slab underneath. Now, I know when we get the machine through, it's gonna be wider than that. But it's fine, okay? We're going to break it through. So we've already got our big chaser on the go, so that is breaking up to this point. But as you can see, it starts tapering up and up and up and up, which is going to be a massive problem, and it just seems to get more and more prominent with rubbish and stuff like that. So we've just lifted up this drain. It appears like it's no longer in use. It's got more pipes coming this way. It's got one going out that way. So I think with the machine, we're going to come from down there along here, and then we're going to taper off and go round. We'll do a little hand dig underneath that bit and then stay out wide because of all the mains and stuff that comes through into this section here.
which is fine. Okay, so when we return off this way, so like I say, it is going to get a little bit messy, the lawn, but it is what it is. And you can see while I've been away fetching the chaser, Jake's moved all the pea gravel back, because you see with that downpipe, well, that downpipe there, that leads down into basically the grass, I think, and there must be like a bit of a soak away kind of thing here. So we're going to scratch through there and get on with that. But yeah, so it's admitting when you just need to pull in the big guns and get a machine. But if you can imagine, if we managed to do that in a normal fashion all the way through, it would have been a much neater job than the machine. This trench has done my nut in. We're still not there. So we've used the breaker now. So the breaker is down, breaker, he's down where Jake is. So what we've done, we have broke out all of the floor, well, the old slab, which I'll bring you in a little bit closer in a second to have a look at, which is fine. The other thing what we've done is actually said to the customer about putting a water mains in. Now I'll explain more. The concrete slab, as it stands, we've smashed that out, and then we have found there's actually like a brick wall underneath that, so that's fine. So we've smashed that out again. Now, it turns out the trench that we have done is roughly 8 inches anyway, so we should be okay when we get the machine in. So there's a few bits down there that we'll have to chip off. But we've now discovered, well I say now, Jake has discovered that, you see that pipe there? So that pipe leads up to, in that corner, is actually the phone line, so that's great. So we're not going to run through that with the machine. But we have said we're going to put a water mains in. So we said, right, what should we do? Do you want to put the water mains in? We're going that way, it makes sense to do it, which is fine. So we're now going to have to go down even deeper. I say with the machine in, it's okay, it's not too bad. But then running down to here, I've now discovered a drain comes here. So we're now going to have to dig underneath that. And what I was hoping to do was bring the cable in at this end and the pipe work in this end. But I'm going to go inside and show you why I can't do that. Coming into the barn, so we've got these pillars now, which are, you know, they're amazing. They're really, really nice pillars. I think they're really cool. And this as a dwelling, you imagine that. It's going to be really, really nice. But I think first and foremost, I think it's going to be a gym, and there's a sauna and all sorts of stuff going to be leading out onto, you know, this bit and stuff like that, which would be really, really cool. But anyway, going off. So I'm now going to have to dig out the floor here and go down and through and all the rest of it and bring my mains up where, you know, all the ivy is. That is basically where we're going to have to be with that, because obviously I can't go underneath the pillar because that is supporting up the roof and all the rest of it, and I reckon that might cause a few issues if I dig right there. Right, so that is basically the end of this first part of the video, because I think it's long enough for me moaning about all of this scenario. So join me next time where we're going to have the machine in, and I'm going to make sure I don't hit the electrics, the water, the phone line and the drainage. Fingers crossed. I have been known to hit some of those, so make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Turn your notifications on, because I might basically just do all three. And then if I do all three, then surely I get an award for that. So yeah, see you next time. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and leave your comments, and see you on the next one. Cheers guys.